What's going on? How you doing, everybody? This video is just a thank you video and giving you an update, but I wanted to thank everybody. This is Friday the 14th. Today was my Hurricane Ian update video, which was the first video that I filmed after the hurricane. The outpouring was huge. Thank you to everybody that commented. Thank you to everybody that sent PayPal, Venmo, super thanks. All your messages. It's huge. It makes a big difference. It means a lot to me and Camilla and Hank, I'm sure, my kid, and the cat, right? The cat's not here right now. Maybe she'll make an appearance. I don't know. I don't know where she's been, actually. It really, it's pretty incredible. We drove around a bunch of different neighborhoods yesterday and today, and today we took some footage of just driving around a specific neighborhood. We feel very lucky. A lot of people just got wrecked. I was talking to some people just on comments about, we're lucky that our house did pretty well. But, I was supposed to have 2 gigs this weekend, which is amazing. Normally I would have had 5, but a bunch of the venues are either straight up gone, like not on the map anymore, no building anymore. The building went in the Gulf, right? It's not there anymore. Or they just have so much damage that they're not open. Right? But I was supposed to have 2 in some places that didn't get hit as bad. But one of them canceled just the other day because they can't staff. They don't have enough staff for their kitchen. It's like, oh man, that doesn't sound like a hurricane problem. That sounds like some other problem. But then you drive around and you look at people's houses and you see these neighborhoods and all the stuff that's just out on the street waiting to get picked up, because they have us, making piles basically of building materials, trash, yard waste, debris, tree branches, trees, any kind of that stuff, making these different piles. And the trash service isn't regular yet. For my area, apparently it's supposed to be next week. That's what I read today. So a lot of stuff is wrecked. All these people that have these jobs that are working, they also have these lives in these houses, and their houses are in what kind of condition, depending on where they live, depending on if they got lucky or not. The houses that we saw today, some of them, just by looking at the piles in front of their house, it's like, oh, you guys were not lucky. You weren't lucky at all. There were just rows of streets that just like every single thing in the house is outside. Everything in the house, because they got flooded, and it's all just a wreck. It's a total wreck. The building is still there. They may have a tarp on their roof. They may have like missing siding and whatever else, trees gone, trees busted, but like all their belongings just got flooded, and it was just water sitting in their house for who knows how long. Maybe they know how long. Maybe they stayed. There's a lot of people that stayed. I'm glad that I left. I really wanted to stay, actually, but as the time came closer when it was going to hit, it just became clearer where it was going and how it was intensifying, and it was like, no, we need to leave. We need to get out of here. Let's get out of here. So, and I'm really glad, because it would have been incredibly more stressful if we would have stayed, like incredibly more stressful. Anyways, what am I saying? I'm saying that all these gigs that I have and don't have and that are kind of up in the air, it's not just me. I'm not solo, like it takes a team of the people at the venues, the people working at the venues, the other people in the band, it takes all of it. Last weekend, I would have had 2 gigs. It would have been fine. We could have made it, but there was a curfew for safety reasons and also looting and things like that. Safety reasons being many of the street lights are still not working. They have generators at many intersections that are powering the lights, like the stoplights. They're just like chained. I don't know if you've seen any of that, but like they're around, and you're just like, it's just a generator right there. Oh. Really? Wow. Jeez. Last week I missed out on gigs because of that, because curfew, because we couldn't go out. Not only could we not go out, I mean, we could have went out because we were technically working, right? They made exceptions for that, but who's going to show up? The people that are going out to these places, they don't have an exception. So that leaves us high and dry, right? And then this week, because, you know, they can't staff, people just like today, one of the neighborhoods that we drove in, we were driving to a family that they lost everything, and they got like a tiny baby, and there's many like Facebook groups and things like that. This is not me stuff. This is like Camilla stuff, but I help facilitate, right? She was in some group where it was people locally, like who to help, people that need help, what they need, things like that. And she found this family that has tiny kids. We have a tiny kid and has a baby, and they lost everything. And they're staying like at somebody else's house. They don't have a house anymore, basically, and they don't have any stuff. They don't have toys for the kids, any of that. So Camilla rounded up all this stuff that our kid doesn't use anymore, or grew out of, or whatever, and we drove over there, right? So it's like lots of that stuff. There's still tons of like meals and supplies being handed out every day, all over the place, which is really cool. And like whenever we have extra stuff, we always bring it over to our neighbor, because our neighbor got hit worse than we did. Which is like, it's just the luck of the draw. Like we have these other neighbors over here, they didn't get hit. They're like the same as our house. It's like, yeah, I had a couple of things here and there, and you know, pretty much not that big. Like compared to everybody else, it's not that big a deal, right? Like I'll handle it. Yeah, okay, the soffit's fascia, like maybe I lost a, you know, whatever, you know, small things. Not my whole roof is gone and parts caved in and water came in the house and, you know, stuff like that. Or like a tree fell on the house. I saw that we drove by a couple of houses in some other neighborhoods that we were looking at before we bought this one. We looked at a ton of houses before we ended up getting this house, and we saw a couple of the houses that we looked at. One of them looked fine, like this, like our house, like looked pretty fine. But one of them had a tree like straight up, like completely collapse on the house. Like it was a gigantic banyan tree, and it just like was totally on the house. And it's just like, what a wreck. It's just crazy. So anyways, I'm gonna have some footage of stuff like that we took that I'll put up in some other video. So I want to say thanks to everybody. It really makes a big difference. People have been saying, hey, how about, like, people meaning Steve has been like, hey, you need to do donation videos. People will do it. So here we go, right? I have time. I have full weeks off now, which is like, I can't even, like, the last time that happened was when we moved to Florida. And also like 2020. Yeah, so I'm kind of like a workaholic guy. I like to work, right? And I consider this work. I mean, everything that I do is work, right? So I consider this work, and that's cool, and I like doing it. It's cool. I like doing videos. It's great. It's fun. I like talking to everybody. I like listening to music. I like doing all of it. It's all very cool to me. And I'm glad and lucky that I have it. But also, this is my opportunity to spend more time on it and do more of what you guys want also. So I'm opening the floor to donation videos. What does that mean? That means if you want me to check something out, if you want me to see something, if you want something of me, you can send me a donation. But here's my limits. It has to be through PayPal or Venmo, not Super Thanks. Thank you to everybody that sends super thanks. Nothing against that. But for this, just PayPal and Venmo. That's it. I don't even care how much. Whatever you want, whatever you can, and then tell me what you want, okay? But it has to be through PayPal, Venmo. And just put it in the notes, in PayPal or Venmo, right? Tell me what it is, or put a link, and I'll upload them. If things get blocked, because sometimes that happens, then we'll have to have a discussion about it, and I can refund or whatever. We'll figure it out at that point. But basically, donation videos, okay? Whatever you want me to check out. Or if there's things that you want me and my wife to check out specifically, be specific about that, though. Like, hey, this is for you and your wife to watch this, to check this out, or whatever. So there's that. Something else that I thought about was doing like about me videos, like maybe kind of like an autobiography. or something like that, where I give you some history of like me, which isn't that big of a deal to me at least, but I know that people are interested in that kind of stuff. They, like I'm open to it is basically what I'm saying. And if you want that, I will provide that. Right. And that could be through, if you have specific questions, like we could do like a Q&A where I'm answering questions on video in that kind of context. Or I can do like maybe a series. I don't know how long it's going to take me to get through this stuff. Also, I don't like super crazy long videos. 20 minutes is way long enough to me. I'd rather people watch the video, than like, oh, this is way too long and stop it, right? Just an idea. Let me know what you think about that. Whether it's like some kind of Q&A or if I just start and do like 1 or 2 videos of like my experience, who I am, and about me basically, who I am, where I'm from, what I've been doing, how I got from born to here. If that interests you. If it doesn't, I'm not offended. Don't worry about it. Okay. Like it's not that crazy to me, but people like that kind of stuff. And I like that kind of stuff from other people also. So that's why I'm like, I'm sure that there's some people that would be interested in that. So let me just offer it. That's all I could do, right? I mean, aside from all that, if you guys have any thoughts, any ideas, any comments, any input, whatever you want, this is a open discussion. Just let me know. Check out all the comments. I'm the one that's going through hearting everything, right? So I see it all. So hit me up. Cool. So, one other thing, my spring store, my Teespring store, my merch store. I don't know why it has not been showing up and it's not linking with YouTube. It did for a minute and then it stopped. And I don't know why. I was chatting with them on support and they're saying that it's not on their end, it's on Teespring's end. And then Teespring, it shows that like I need to have at least 10,000 subs in order for it to connect. But YouTube didn't tell me that. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, what's going on here? You guys aren't lining up, So I do have a store. I'm going to put a link to the store in the description, like at the top in the description. And starting on Monday, when I do a show of hands, I'm going to have a big sale and you have to go there to the link. And when I hit 10,000, which I should hit 10,000 by the end of the year, I think, like somewhere around the end of the year, I should hit 10,000, I think. Then hopefully it links up, because I'm like, guys, like what? Why would you allow me to do this and say that I can do it and then all of a sudden I can't? And also it was linked. Like I know that there have been people on the site that have saw it from YouTube, because I can see the analytics. I can see that there were visitors. So it's like, anyways, it's weird. So that's just another thing that's there. That's basically what's happening. So thank you guys. Really thank you to everybody that sent anything. I'm not here begging, trying to not work for things and all that kind of thing. It's not like that. I know that it's, like this is a crazy circumstance and, it's not normal or whatever. It's not like an everyday thing. It's like, yeah, you just got hit by a natural disaster and like, okay, people come together and all that. But like, I'm able-bodied and, mind and everything. So it's like, hey, and this is a thing that I'm doing. So I'm like, okay, let's ramp it up. What else do you guys want? How else can I serve? Right? So let me know. Thank you guys. I'll catch you later.